Hey, it's Joe from Georgia. There's some harrowing details that are coming out from a ICE raid in Chicago on the South Shore. Well, the agents had targeted a 5-story apartment.
And you have allowed your xenophobia, your need to delineate, to fuel you and Black Americans to be tethered to our version of oppression. This is not an aha moment. This is not an I told you so moment. This is deeply terrifying. Because while there is a country for me to be deported back to, this hate and hatred for immigrants that has distracted you into forgetting that you have always been their true enemy is what has led to them now having a tool to displace and disenfranchise even more Black Americans.
Man, they have taken this Chicago raid and detainment thing to the head. And what always cracks me up about when I'm seeing these videos is that when they approach us about xenophobia and not fighting for the rights of Blacks and all this type of shit, is that they always come at us like they really schooling us on some shit. Like they come at us like they schooling the OGs on some shit, when in reality they should just be taking a play out of our book, out of our civil rights book, and using that as their tool, instead of coming at us like we supposed to be just out here fighting on the front lines. And if we don't fight on the front lines for them, then that means that we're xenophobic and we have hatred for immigrants, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And it's like, what exactly do you expect us to do about your immigration issue? Like, what is Black America going to do? Like, it's not like we have any inside information about immigration and about being a foreigner, like, because we've been here since the inception of this nation. So how will we know how to manage your immigration problems? We don't know nothing about that. I can't tell you I can't tell you what you did wrong if you didn't get your paperwork right. If you get detained and questioned, then you just got to show your paperwork, make sure your shit is legit. But I don't know, I can't school you. I can't help you with that situation, and none of us really can, because we're not immigrants. So this ain't about a hatred type of thing. And what's funny is that a lot of these this girl's what Jamaican or something. A lot of these people, like, y'all, we already know about the shit talking that y'all did. Y'all talked a lot of shit about Black Americans, like, oh, we lazy, we stupid, we uneducated, we baby mamas, like talking all of that shit about us, and then turn around as soon as you think you need some help, and then asking us and expecting us to jump at the opportunity to help you after you spent years talking shit and talking down on us. We saw all the videos. We see what y'all be saying about us. So now all of a sudden when you need help, you think, oh, because we're both brown or we're both Black or whatever, all of a sudden I'm supposed to come to your aid. No, you can handle it on your own. Stand your ground. Like, don't continue to flee and expect other people to fix your problems the way that you did back in your home nation. You need to stay and you need to fit and you need to fix whatever is wrong. Like, I can't tell you how to fix it. I mean, really talking like y'all think that we don't know the issues that we've had in this country since we've been here, since the country has been a country. Like, we not aware of our own issues. Like, boo boo, you not schooling us on nothing. We already know all of that shit you talking. Like, we have been targeted and been detained and all types of shit all throughout the years. If some shit was gonna go down, it could have been went down. So it's nothing for us to worry about. It's time for you to fix your own shit. And that's all we're trying to say. Like, all of that shit y'all was talking, all that shit y'all been talking about us, manage your problems yourself at this point. I mean, that's just how it's supposed to be. Boo-boo, sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
They're just trying to get as many brown people out as possible. This is really what it's all about. This does nothing to lower your avocado prices. This does nothing to help your safety. Here's Crystal Ball. She's one of my favorite progressive voices out there. Here she is, disgusted at the raid. Kids were being zip-tied and yanked from their families.
Really want people to sit with what happened here. They used Black Hawk helicopters in the middle of the night to rappel into an apartment building. They pulled everyone out, broke down the doors. Little kids who were sleeping naked or in their underwear, pulled out crying, zip tied together.
And not to mention, what did this cost our taxpayer dollars? Like, this whole building that they raided with these I mean, just on the jet fuel alone, they probably could have provided them health care for life. I mean, it's just so ridiculous how our money is being spent to divide us and to terrorize us.
Thrown into U-Haul vans. Grown-ups, adults, seniors, did nothing wrong, middle of the night. Again, unclothed, zip tied together, thrown and detained for hours. No ability to make a phone call, no lawyer, no warrant, nothing. I don't know how anyone morally justifies this.
It's a solid question, and it breaks my heart that some people will try to. These aren't people committing crimes, and if they are, find the people committing the crimes, prosecute them, give them their due process, and if they're in the country illegally, they'll be deported because they committed crimes. But instead, this is a quota where they're just trying to get as many brown people out as possible. This is really what it's all about. There's a version of our country moving forward, years down the line, where we're going to see people in jail over what's going on right now. And yet we still have plenty of folks, maybe not in our community, but we have plenty of folks out there defending this, thinking somehow the, kidnapping and hog tying of kids and the blowing up of speedboats in international waters, and the list goes on. Somehow they think that's going to lead to you being able to get a more affordable home. This isn't the fight. This is misguided, and they're using a lot of people's frustration and anger, and they're parlaying that into more destruction and division.
Whatever you're doing right now, stop and watch this video. It's urgent. I was teaching on the west side of Chicago today, and ICE was in the area right next to the school. From what we can gather, because this just happened 10 minutes ago, a few workers were deported and arrested by ICE. One of them was my student's father, and we went into lockdown because so many of my students have parents or grandparents that are from other countries and that immigrated here, and they're scared their family's gonna get deported. Or consequently, my other students are terrified because they have brown skin that they can't go outside because ICE is gonna fucking detain them. And these are 13 to 15-year-old kids. They took one of my students' fathers. She has not heard from her dad in hours. Her mom called her freaking out. They have no idea where he is. He disappeared, and yet he was kidnapped on stolen fucking land. This is not white people's land. This is stolen land. This is the land of indigenous people. How are you going to kidnap brown people on indigenous land? We are living in a very horrible world right now, and people need to wake up.
Growing anger and distrust that the American people are feeling toward the Trump administration and what they're seeing on the streets of American cities in the ICE raids has become so nearly universally disliked that it has even reached the traditionally conservative world of country music. Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter Zach Bryan released a clip of a new song on social media directly calling out the cruelty of mass deportations. Bryan, who served in the Navy for 8 years, is a country superstar. His music has reached 16.2 billion streams on Spotify. And just last month, he set the record for the largest ticketed concert in U.S. history. Listen to his new song.
My friends are all degenerates, but they're all I got. The generational story of dropping the plot. I heard the cops came. Cocky motherfuckers, ain't they? And ICE is gonna come bust down your door. Try to build a house, no one builds no more. But I got a telephone. Kids are all scared and all alone. The boss stopped bumping the rock, stop rolling, my middle fingers rising, and I won't stop showing. Got some bad news, the fading of a red, white, and blue.
Notable at this moment, notable.
Don't even let our ICE officers and our Border Patrol officers use restrooms in facilities. Those men and women were telling us that they have to figure out even where they can go sit down for 5 minutes to have lunch or to use a restroom throughout their shift and their break. So they've made it a very difficult situation.
The compilation of how people across the U.S. have been trolling ICE agent. Definitely don't get any ideas. Wearing a Halloween costume suit and dry humping the air while the agents are standing there protecting the ICE facility. Since police love donuts and bacon, people have been putting them on fishing rods and trying to bait them into anger. And grabbing microphones, yelling the neighborhood and following ICE cars around, warning the neighborhood that the car in front of them is immigration, which might be one of my personal favorites. Following every single ICE car that they find with no goal whatsoever. People have even been cosplaying as undocumented people without papers and starting to run while screaming and jumping over fences.
White friends, we need to have a conversation right now. I know I look a hot mess right here. because I just got out of the sauna having a really deep conversation with 3 other Mexican women. Got in the sauna with them, and they were just talking about how scared they are in the state of this country, and white women need to do more, especially as Americans. Look for ways to make people feel safe. Have conversations with those strangers. For me, I speak French, so I was reacting to some of the things they were saying in Spanish, and they were surprised, and so they asked, they're like, oh, do you speak Spanish? And I said, I understand it, yo escucho bien, but we just ended up getting into this conversation that I felt like was important for other people to be aware of. Everyone is afraid, but it is so simple and easy for you to just look at your neighbor, a stranger, and say, hey, I hear you. I see you. I'm with you. I don't stand for what is happening in this country. I need you all to do that. If you are white and you are anti-Trump and anti this administration and ICE and everything that is happening, go out of your way to look at someone and say, I care about you, and I don't feel what is happening right now. Just a small act like that makes people feel like they belong. That's all human beings want. They want to belong. They want to be heard. They want to be seen. And the more we do this as white people, or even, white blondes that look like me, it makes people feel safer. So please do that whenever you can.
So ICE agents are now detaining Black Americans in Chicago. That is the narrative of the left now. I mean, that is the hill that you decide to die on. Really. It wasn't that long ago that an incompetent president and vice president dropped off millions of illegal immigrants in the city of Chicago. And your incompetent mayor, Lori Lightfoot, and now Brandon Johnson, decided to designate all of the resources of the inner city, the black community, and give it to illegal immigrants. And for years, you had Black Americans in the city of Chicago complaining that they're being displaced, that they're being looked over, that illegal immigrants are now occupying spaces that they can no longer. And now you're complaining when President Trump is trying to eradicate that whole scenario. Now your narrative is they're attacking us because they're cleaning up the streets of Chicago. I mean, at this point, you cannot deny the fact that the Democrat Party hate black people. They always did, and they always will. But as long as they had your vote, you were okay. They can ignore you just enough and give you just enough to where you feel like you're needed. But now they have a new voter base and you're no longer needed. And you still decide to fight on the side of the Democrat Party. If that's not brainwashed, I don't know what is.
People are making jokes about these ICE raids like ice, ice, baby, like it's something fucking cute. And it's always the same no upper lip having white fucking asshole in some podunk town that's just completely ignoring the fact that these agents are destroying people's lives. They're turning cities into fucking war zones, busting people's windows out of their cars, arresting U.S. citizens for looking a certain way, for having like a Mexican flag, fucking taking people, raping people. And I don't understand where these people pull this willful ignorance out of. Because they will absolutely ignore it and pretend as if this is somehow keeping the streets safe. That this is somehow making the economy better, making life better, making groceries more affordable, making your insurance premiums not double. I just don't understand it. I've been on the verge of a panic attack for days. I've been having heart palpitations for weeks. I just don't understand the lack of empathy, because it's not stopping at immigrants, and it's not going to stop at brown people. They're terrorizing fucking low income folks. That means the white poor, They're gonna fucking terrorize you too. They're gonna come for the gays. They're not gonna fucking stop at trans people. They're gonna come for everybody. I don't understand how people are just waking up and like going about their days right now, because it is taking everything in me to not break down because of the horrors that I see every time I open my phone.
I love how these maggots keep trying to like prove me wrong and saying that what happened in Chicago was fake. I'm not even talking about that stupid picture of a dad handcuffing his kid in Texas. I don't understand why you guys keep bringing that up as a point of context. Because that's not, everybody knows that that's not what we're talking about. Anyways, why do you care? And since when do you care about the law now? You guys break the law literally every single day. And you know you do. So just fuck off. Get a life. I want to keep posting whatever the fuck I want to post.
If they can use military grade equipment like Blackhawks and go to that city, if they can bust down those families' doors, if they can zip tie those children, if they can zip tie those American citizens and arrest them, basically because they may have a hunch about some gang being somewhere close by, they can do that to you. They can do that to you. And you should know that, and you should be outraged.
Hey, can I help you?
Hey, yeah, no, I'm just out here. I live in the community. I'm trying to see what you guys are doing. I do have ID. Who are you guys with?
Is there a reason why you're impeding this investigation?
I'm not impeding. I was just driving, and I'm parked right there. I live in the neighborhood.
Everybody honking the horn?
Yeah, we're letting people know because people are going through intersections. So I'm out here at 23rd and Lombard right now. Do you guys have any identification on you?
Yeah, you see it. It's on our vest.
Do you guys have a badge number or a name?
No, you don't need all that.
I don't need... Why don't I need any of that?
You have ID on you?
Do you guys need my ID? What's the reason for stopping me?
What's the reason for following us honking your horn?
You guys are going through a neighborhood and you guys are stopping people on the street with no reason.
Well, I suggest you stop following us, alright? Otherwise, we're going to arrest you for impeding your audit.
I'm not impeding anything.
We're letting you know this is the first warning and last warning.
Okay.
You got that?
What are your guys' names?
This right here.
Do you guys have a name for...
Yeah, this is the name. 306. Stop following us. Next time, it's not going to be a warning. You got it?
I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not breaking any laws right here. It doesn't matter.
Hey y'all, so I just want to talk about the fact that none of the major news outlets are covering these ICE raids in Chicago. And these raids took place in a building that had black people and Venezuelans. They apparently were looking for the Venezuelans. They came in with helicopters. They came in with tear gas. They came in knocking down doors, basically pulling these people out of their houses at 10 o'clock at night. There's an elderly woman who said she was taken out in her nightgown at 10 o'clock at night, asked if she had any warrants, and then was not released till 3 a.m. while she was in her nightgown and handcuffed. They were handcuffing black children, separating them from their parents, handcuffing the kids off to one side, parents on another side. They told people, if you have warrants, you will not be getting released. And they claimed they were there looking for Venezuelans. They done tore these people's places up. Look, you can see this man's apartment's all tore up. Look at these hallways. Just went through, caused a complete and utter havoc. And all of that because you claim you're looking for Venezuelans in a building. So it requires all of that. I don't even think y'all think about not even just the psychological trauma this is going to cause on these children who are not going to, already probably don't trust the police and really aren't going to trust them now. The psychological effect on the parents, scared. The cost that we're all paying for this stupid shit. Let's add that to it. And now people have been put in jail. And granted, yes, if you have a warrant. Okay, but some people don't know sometimes they have warrants. In addition, you don't get to just pick me up while you're looking for illegals, as you call them, because on stolen land, who's illegal? But using that as an opportunity to arrest people. And you knew you were doing this in a predominantly black area. So while if they're doing this in Chicago, what's next? Where's next? Where are they going next? And the fact that none of these major news outlets are carrying it ought to tell you everything you need to know. The news does not care. The news is basically on payroll. We already know about how Sinclair Media and the other media company, we found this out with the Jimmy Kimmel thing, how they basically control what is said on the media and have all of their stations regurgitating the same bullshit. We also saw, when we're going back now that Trump has admitted he knew about Project 2025, and we can see all the news outlets, CNN, Fox, all these major outlets that basically said Kamala was lying when she said Trump was going to put Project 2025 in place. They said Tim Walz was lying. These news outlets literally said these people were lying, for it now to be, they weren't lying. So we don't trust you, media. And now you don't show this. This just continues to prove that y'all ain't shit, and this is why y'all want TikTok to go away, because we're getting our news source from real people who are really giving real information, and not you people that are company bought and sold and won't share real information because they know if we're uneducated and we don't know what's going on, they can continue to do shit to us. Okay, this is why they're not telling us, because they know if more people knew about it, they'd be saying, what the hell is going on? We didn't think, especially even the MAGAs, that are now saying, well, we thought he just was going for illegals. We didn't think they were going to be messing with citizens. Well, they are. So what y'all gonna do? What now? What now? Elections have consequences, and innocent people, innocent children are being affected by your fucked up ass decisions. I hope none of y'all ever fucking sleep at night.
I feel so frustrated with the ICE rates in Chicago because I live in a dual world. What do I mean by that? In my personal life, I grew up in a white system, white grammar school, white high school, white university. So everyone on my private social media is basically white, wealthy, well off. And when I post about these ICE raids and the realities that are happening in my Latino community here in Chicago and everywhere else, I get angry DMs from cops, from people that are white, from people whose parents came the right way, even if they're European immigrants, whatever it is, they don't understand the atrocities that are happening in my community. And then I clock into work, a predominantly white space, tech. No one says anything. Everyone's silent. Everyone's going about their day. I have to sit there and act like I'm focusing in my meetings when all I can think of is my friends that are texting me, my Hispanic friends that are freaking out because their parents are undocumented and the ICE raids are going on in their communities while they're at work. People feel unsafe. I go home, I clock out of work, and I go home to my parents and I have dinner with them, and all we hear on the news day in and day out is stories of atrocious things, racial profiling, people abusing power. There are literal politicians that are being dragged out of rooms because white men in power can't emotionally regulate themselves because racist people were handed a position of power that is now terrorizing Latino communities. But then I log into my public platforms and I see people that sympathize, black and brown followers that understand where I'm coming from. The duality that exists in my life makes me feel like I'm being tugged at the seams. And all at once, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I see both sides of it. I see a group of people that will never understand, seemingly so. And then I see a group of people that understands me on such a deep-rooted level. I feel so frustrated.
Y'all, some of the ICE workers that's sick and tired of ICE goddamn shit have snuck a body cam, which you know is against the law, honey, in federal facilities, honey, and recorded their meetings before they jumped out and went to Chicago and was locking up Mexicans and black people. Watch this.
And I get it. You come to work, you're frustrated, you're upset because you didn't get the desired outcome that you want. Doesn't mean you give up. Right? I know you're not. That's why I'm saying we don't give up. We stay focused. We continue to do the job and the mission that we signed up for. Right? We all signed up for it. We all raised our hand.
It's kind of hard to say that. To defend the Constitution, not the...
It's not hard to say it. It may be hard for you to say it, but I've been doing this for 31 years. It's not hard for me to say it. Every day I wake up and I'm committed to this organization and I'm committed to each one of y'all.
We say the same thing, but it seems like the policies.
But then you keep releasing criminals in the country. You're getting bogged down in the policies and the politics.
You can't even say illegal alien.
What's that?
You can't even say. That's why Chief Scott left.
You just said it.
You can't.
Is anything going to happen to you? You just said it.
The whole generation. Whole generation.
Why are you guys getting caught up in semantics? Right? There's a mission out there to be. There's a mission out there to be had, guys. We can sit here and argue about it till we're blue in the face. Right? I've been doing this job as long as y'all.
That's the problem.
What's that?
That's the problem, Chief. For evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
I can't hear you.
For evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. That's exactly what's happening here. Good men are doing nothing. You're allowing illegal aliens to be dropped off in communities.
You are doing something.
No, sir, we're not.
You are.
No,
You're rescuing people every day. You're taking fentanyl off the streets every day. You're taking methamphetamine
Yes, and under this
criminal
administration for
aliens
the
off the
last
streets
year, we
every
have the
day.
highest fentanyl death in the history of our country. In 1 year, in this country.
You know, we've made more fentanyl seizures already this year than we made last year.
How many have we not catch because we're focusing on these families? And that's the problem.
And we're working on it.
Where's the results? We don't have results.
On a lighter note, when are we going to get the VF money solution? We need some new
Founder of Latinas for Trump just denounced Donald Trump over the ICE raids that are currently taking place in Los Angeles. Here is what Leanne Garcia, the founder of the group, just said in response to the LA raids. Quote, "I am deeply disappointed by these actions. This is not what we voted for. I have always supported Trump through thick and thin. However, this is unacceptable and inhumane." So let's rewind to what she said there about not voting for this. Yes, you did, Leanne Garcia. You guys were calling for mass deportations. I mean, there were signs at the RNC that said mass deportations now. And now that Donald Trump is president, he's carrying out the mass deportations. And this is what it looks like. It's Donald Trump's Gestapo tear gassing people. And don't claim you didn't see this coming, because he tear gassed protesters during his first term. So yes, this is exactly what you and the Latinas for Trump voted for. I can't even believe that's a group. It's like chickens for KFC. Anyway, this is what you voted for.
Hey, it's Joe from Georgia. There's some harrowing details that are coming out from a ICE raid in Chicago on the South Shore. Well, the agents had targeted a 5-story apartment building on the South Shore and did a full-blown raid. They took everyone out of the building, to include people who didn't even have clothes on. They zip-tied children together and were dragging them out into the street, putting them in the back of a U-Haul. Well, one of the spectators who saw this said, "Hey, you know, watch what you're doing with those children." And the ICE agent turned around and said to them, "Fuck those children." Now, the details have surfaced that they were using like 15-inch chainsaws to cut down fences. They were busting in doors. They completely ransacked every apartment in the building. Well, folks, 80% of the people that lived in that building were American citizens. They did arrest some people there, and they said it was more for drug activity. Now, I thought ICE was there to go in and arrest criminal illegal aliens, and they were trying to say that they were trying to target a known gang activity in this.
What's up, folks? Mr. Case here, telling it like it is, just responding on the reports of a massive ICE raid occurring in Aurora, Colorado. I drove to it as I was driving out to work, and it was confirmed there would appear to have been over 4 or 5 transport van vehicles, an armored vehicle, several federal all blacked out SUVs, well over 15 to 20 federal ICE agents, all fully masked up in black, several of which were armored with what appeared to have been high caliber rifles. And at this time, this is a huge step up in our city in the militarization of our streets. And at this time, I'm calling on our mayor, I'm calling on our governor, I'm calling on the attorney general. They are playing war in our streets. Driving past it, they shut down a main intersection so they can go play war inside of a gas station. They are not targeting gangs, they are targeting working individuals and pointing rifles at them.